Hi guys. I was sitting here. Actually, I wasn't sitting. I was actually folding clothes. I had washed them, dried them, and started folding my clothes. And this reflection came back to me. I have a lot of those um, because one, I track patterns. Two, and not that I track them. It's just um, I spend a lot of time alone, so I really have an ability to spot patterns in people. And so, but I didn't have names for it because I didn't know what it was. I just know the behavior, the energy, right? Not necessarily the name the world gives it, you know. I don't watch TV and I don't get into a whole lot of things that are not growing me. If it's not spiritual, I'm 9 times out of 10 not listening or reading or anything like that. So, um, and then there was a whole world that I knew nothing about. So I didn't even know to even inquire about it. But even inside of that, I found patterns. And so I just choose to be free. I choose to be in a space that doesn't require me to um, deny, degrade, or downgrade myself. I choose freedom. I choose um, authenticity. I choose to live a life that knows that love exists and I am that. Okay. So, anyhow, what I used to do is I would write and then I would write posts and put them in Facebook and but they would be so long. I mean, they would just be, well, some of them, they would be posts about realizations that I've um acquired, or my bubba is looking for some food, so I'm just looking at him. So in any case, don't you scoot, I see you. And so um excuse me, the air is going in my ear, so it's making my ear itch. um any case, I will post them on Facebook, and I got to a point where I just didn't want to do that anymore. The other reason why is because people was actually stealing my work. And here's the thing, like, these are my life experiences. And so for someone to take my life experience and rewrite it, not necessarily rewrite that part because you can't, right? It's not your lived experience, so you can't write it the way I wrote it, right? And to where it would actually make sense if you like, mangled some words, mixing, took a word out, put another word, whatever. You can't do that because then it changes the meaning of the message. And so what I found is that, one particular person, I actually I thought I was okay with. I grew up with this person, and only to find out that, this person had taken literally verbatim every word that I had wrote in a post and just put like one small blurb above it and then signed it her name, and I was just like taken back, and I didn't do anything. I didn't sue her. I didn't do anything. I did ask her. Yeah, I did do something. I asked her about it, and or I more or less told her about it, and she asked me what did I want her to do with it. And at that time I answered, what would Jesus do? Because these people believe, they're Christians. A lot of these people are Christians and this is the things that they do. And so, but I wouldn't even say that today. I would just sue them. Okay, because these are my words. Is these this I have a business and I write under that business name. And so that's what's going to happen going forward if I should choose to post my words. But I came up with a solution. And today I'm going to read it. So I'm going to show you where I write. So every message that I have, I write it somewhere. Most of them are written in an app called Color Note. And so here they are. These are my notes. This is my message. And so I just want you to know, but I'm going to read it. Okay? Because it's kind of when it comes to me, it's just I just start writing. And once I start writing, it just all comes out. And then it's really hard to like go back into the feeling of when I was writing it, to where it sounds like it sounded in my head when I was writing it. So anyway, I'm going to read this to you. I sit in reflection and I see a pattern of toxic masculine energy. It's so used to being sought after that it plays the game of hide and seek. It hides and you seek. In order to lay the foundation, it love bombs you. It tells you everything it thinks will get you to fall for it. I say it because masculine energy resides in every being. It can show up in either polarity as well. The purpose of this message is simply to bring awareness to it so that you can protect your heart. This energy can have multiple feminine energies, and spirit says felonies. So as I was literally typing this, it spirit just put the word felony right there in front of my face, and I was like, oh, okay. Okay. Spirit says felonies. So you can ask about their record or research it since it's public record anyway to determine if this is a toxic masculine energy. Again, it will have multiple feminine energies that know nothing of one another initially. It has multiple lives. It has multiple lives is what I want to say, right? So it it does a whole lot. It could have a whole nother family somewhere, okay? Um, it shows you only what it thinks you will accept so that it appears as an angel when the clock strikes. And when the clock strikes, it works in darkness in many aspects, if you know, you know. Doing what others like it does in the dark. It tends to entertain a mix of men and women at the same time, whether it was born a man or a woman. You understand? So this energy, this toxic masculine energy lives in your light as light, right? Because it can't live in darkness and be light. Okay? So you are the light that shines on them and allows them to stand in light because they're dark. And when they're done in your light, then they play in the dark. They love the dark. Like that's their playground. It's really where they would prefer to be and where would prefer to be. And again, it's in both male and female, not just men. Okay. Um, and it will entertain both sexes at the same time, right? Because here's the thing: if we're both masculine and feminine, if a male is in okay, I'm going to get there. Okay. I'm going to get there. So, because it is here and I don't want to say it now. Here's the test. It makes sure you see it every day. It opens car doors for you, very respectful. It brings you flowers, so loving, all the things a healthy masculine would do. Suddenly, one day it doesn't show after consistently showing up every day. It won't call waiting though. So you reach out and it checks your temperature. It has no reason for not reaching out. It's right, which is it's right, but the motive is ill intended. It will act nonchalant about it as if you don't matter. What you say or do next determines how it will proceed with you, not if it will leave. Okay? It has no intentions on leaving. That's not the goal here. The goal is complete control. Okay? The goal is control. So it's not trying to leave. It's not trying to um, get you to leave it. It's trying to gain control over you. Okay? It will come around the next day to see what your energy is like. Toxic masculine is patient. So you got to be 2 times patient. Okay? Patient with yourself to do what you need to do. Okay? If you show it the same level of activity, giving it the same level of attention, desiring to be with it despite the neglect, being being intimate with it, it believes it has you. Now it has the opportunity to add another wounded feminine. Now here we go. This is where you understand why it doesn't matter. Why they date multiple and all inclusive. Add another wounded feminine because yes, you are operating from your wounds, known or unknown. When you decide not to check this energy and release it. Now, the toxic masculine is going MIA for days at a time. You're calling, asking what's going on, right? And it says nothing, just busy with work or helping this or that person because it's a good person. I'm a good person. I'm a good person. I help everybody. I'm just a good person. Instead of inviting you out because it would prefer you to be a homebody so it doesn't catch bodies. Okay, I'm not going to ask you to go out because one, I'm not trying to take the initiative to do that. That is not the goal here. The goal is control. 2 is dark. That's where I play. And if I take you where I play, that's a problem. Okay? They're going to catch bodies because now more people are going to see their lie. Meaning get caught in the act of lying and cheating. It will say, call me when you're ready to go somewhere. It wants to be wanted, but only at your detriment. It will even introduce you to another wounded feminine, and you will never know unless you trust your intuition that it is mixing and mingling with the friends. It will test you with more and more disrespect until you put your foot down and leave it. There is no other way around it. Toxic masculine will not be dateable until it heals. The problem with that, is it never thinks anything is wrong. It has honestly bought into its own lie. Haven't you ever had those moments where you're like, did they? I know they don't believe that. Like they know they're lying, right? They know that that's not them. Nope. They may have at one point, but they've been living this. They've been living that life a long time. Okay. The problem with that is it never thinks anything is wrong. It has honestly bought into its own lie. It's played the role for so long, it absolutely thinks it's upstanding. It's just helping all these wounded feminine energies. These wounded feminine energies that are looking for solidarity, excuse me, psychological safety. Like, I don't want to have to think some shit is going on when we would around other people. How often have you sat amongst them and this energy and other people and thought to yourself like, am I being bamboozled? Like, are they sleeping together? Am I safe? Like, if you have to question the friendship, if you have to question the relationship, that's not psychological safety. Okay, you should know without a shadow of a doubt because it does exist. We're just speaking about toxic masculine energy and wounded feminine. And I'm not really getting too deep into the wounded feminine yet. You'll have to get to read the book, okay? Um, Not that you have to. You don't have to do anything. So anyway, they're also looking for protection, for care, for nurturing, love, just good old authentic love. I want to feel me, right? When the wounded feminine doesn't realize it's their own love it is seeking, it will fall for the toxic masculine effortlessly. Effortlessly. They don't have to put any effort. This energy doesn't have to put any effort into trying to attain you. Your feminine is so wounded that it doesn't take much. They can do the slightest thing and you'll just be like, oh, oh, he brought me flowers. Oh, oh, he kissed me on my cheek. Oh, he grabbed my booty cheek. It means nothing. Okay? Empty. It's all empty. Without it struggling, but the wounded feminine will find itself in another cycle with a different face. Let me read that again. When the wounded feminine doesn't realize it's their love, their own love it is seeking, it will fall for the toxic masculine effortlessly. Without it struggling, but the wounded feminine will find itself in another cycle with a different face. So if you like to know how to master the feminine aspect of yourself or heal the masculine within you, I invite you to schedule a one-on-one session. This will allow you the space to stop pushing against the man in the mirror and join forces with yourself to bridge the gaps that were left empty and desolate. If you have been questioning but not sure, I invite you to schedule a let's talk about it session so you can track down the pattern. You can track down the pattern so well that the only option left is to eradicate the behavior that keeps you bound to the toxic masculine energy. All right, family, I'll leave it there. And if you like what I'm putting down, like, subscribe, follow, whatever, do nothing. It doesn't matter, right? Because at the end of the day, I work for God. And if God said this is the message that's going out to you, this is the message you will get. Okay? I do love you all. And I really hope, I don't hope, I'm sorry, I really desire that all eyes open, all ears hear, and that you begin to trust your intuition, that you begin to accept that that feeling that you felt wasn't for nothing. How else will you know when something isn't right for you? You'll know it by the way it feels. All right? I love you and bless you.